Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. Today I'm doing something a little bit different from everything else I've been doing this week. It's actually kind of a combination because this was a surprise art supply from one of my best friends, and I'm going to do a watercolor painting, so it sort of combines the art snacks type stuff I've been doing and the watercolor painting that I did yesterday. I'm trying to hurry, so I chose these small, it's a watercolor block to work on. And then I've got a pretty simple reference image up here of a Harris's hawk, and it's not going to look just like the hawk in real life because you can see these are the colors, the unaltered colors are this yellow, this blue, and this purple. This was the blue and the yellow mixed together. Purple and yellow, blue and purple, and this was all three. But of course, if you mix them in different ratios, then it will bring up some different colors. But I did these swatches ahead of time so that I can use them as reference, or at least remember, oh yeah, if I mix these, then it'll look like this. So I'm gonna first sketch the hawk with this Palomino Blackwing pencil that I just recently got, this cool like heavy duty metal tip protector thing. So I've been trying to use this because if I'm gonna spend the money on this wasn't exactly cheap for how small it is, but it matches and everything, so I've been trying to use this pencil up. I want to make sure the reference image is actually very close in format to this, so I want to try to make sure to get a similar placement of the hawk because I like how it looks. Even though I'm using a Harris's hawk reference photo, I'm mostly just using it because it has the general shape of the kind of birds I want to practice painting, which is birds that you might use to create a griffin character, like with the bird on the top and usually a lion, but I put all sorts of stuff on the bottom. For me, the rule is just make it some sort of four-legged, usually a mammal. So I've done wolves for the bottom part of griffins and stuff. I even did a squirrel once for the bottom part. A robin, American red robin on the top, and a squirrel on the bottom. Alright, this head is too small. Too small. More flat on the top like that. And then it comes way out here. There we go. And then the beak comes. Oops, right from the forehead like that. I've always liked this little tooth-like, how it's kind of like jagged on birds of prey and their beaks. Then whenever you draw them, they don't look like they're smiling until you draw them, and the mouth always ends in a little uptick right there. So every time I start drawing a bird, I'm like, oh, it's smiling. Even though, it's not, but it's my human interpretation. I can't help it. Just comes in. And they look kind of like defiant too, especially hawks and stuff, because it's got like this flap of skin over the top of the eye, so it looks like an eyebrow, making kind of like it needs a star right here, like ching. Yeah, this isn't exactly in proportion, but I'm not trying to make it perfect or anything. I mean, it's going to be like blue and purple and stuff, so just want a general reference so that I can make a cool picture using the 3 colors that I was assigned. This, gotta get rid of that right there. This needs to come down a little further. Needs to be like that, and then this can come down like that. There, that's probably good enough for the pencil stuff. Let's see. So this will just get started. Wait, I know. I remember what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a wash on here from top to bottom. Even on this, even on the bird part. But what should I do? This is the exact background color in the actual image, so maybe I'll just go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do like a wash from, I'll do a gradient, I mean from yellow up to blue. So first I'm gonna get the paper all wet so that it will evenly spread the color. Oh, dang cat hairs. They're always all over all my stuff. There we go. Okay, now... Okay, I gotta use a smaller brush actually because... well, I guess I'll figure it out. These pans are so small, I can't fit my brush in there, but... I'll start with the yellow because it's the lighter color. Sort of got it. It's hard to get the color out of here with this big brush. just have to stick it in there and like shake it around. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna do some blue. I think the blue will come up easier. I just find that with watercolor paints in general, for some reason blues just come right up. Yeah, that's pretty good. Paper towel. I've got these shop towels now. I've got this huge box of them for my printmaking class. I ran out of regular towels. I'm not a fan of the... it dries out my fingers like crazy, these shop towels, but I had to get a huge box of them for my printmaking classes. So I have tons, so that's what I'm using for now. It's like I can feel the moisture being sucked away from my fingers. Just want to get this extra color that's sort of pooling at the edges here. I guess I should wait for this to dry. I did also, I guess I forgot to get out some, I got this white, ooh, I know what I'll get out. I got this white brush pen that I recently got, like this week I opened it in a Art Snacks box. I wasn't very happy with how it worked on the Art Snacks challenge I did with it, but I thought I'd give it another shot today and see what kind of highlights I can make with it. So I also wanted to use black ink for final details at the end. So I actually have a pen exactly like that with black ink in it. So just get that out. And then they'll match, and that'll be satisfying. Oh, if I can find, here it is. I actually think I have two of these. I have so many of these. And I just bought a gold one and a silver one. They were on sale, so I couldn't resist. This isn't dry yet. I need something to like fan it with. Like this. You can see it's still shiny, just a little bit. Here, right there. As long as it's still shiny, I don't want to paint on it because darn cat hairs. Because if I do, I won't get nice sharp edges for the hawk here. I'll end up, it'll sort of bleed a little bit. Which is fine if you want to go for that kind of look. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But that's not what I want to do. I want a sharper edge. Separating it. Separating the hawk from the background. Yeah, it's still damp. The shininess has gone away, so that's good. It's drying. I figured out today that instead of using a sharp thing like a box cutter knife, getting the paper off of the block with something like this is a bone folder, something that, so you could probably use a non-sharp, what I'm trying to say, letter opener too, but it actually works way better because it, instead of like fighting with the wax that's on the side, it just sort of rubs up against it and then the paper just comes apart. But whenever I use something that's actually sharp, it ends up trying to cut the wax, but it doesn't do that great, and so it cuts the paper instead. And so I've been wanting to try this. And it worked perfectly to get the painting off of here that I had on here from a couple days ago. Dry yet? Nope. Still a bit damp. I want some, like, tweezers to keep in here so I can tweeze the little hairs off whenever I get hairs on here. So I have 3 pets, 3 hairy pets. So there's always little cat hairs and stuff on here. Still a bit damp. Still gotta wait. If I wave this. I guess I'll talk about this while I wait for this to dry, instead of just being a bunch of nothing while we sit here. So this is a pretty ingenious thing that my friend Sarah sent me. It's like a little tin, and it's got like washi tape or something on the top. And then it's got these little magnetized paint pans. Little, I don't know, I'd say this is probably a half pan size. And then she put stickers on the side that say the color and everything. So this is like really clever and cute. Since they're magnetized, as long as it's dry, then you could just throw it in your bag and go plain air paint something. I don't do that very often, but it's cool. It's a really cool idea. So this yellow one, there's the, I thought the color names were on here. I was looking at the wrong side. The yellow one is raw sienna. And then the blue one is indigo. And purple is mauve. Oh, Sarah, welcome! Half pan. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm glad that I guessed it correctly. Still the tiniest bit damp, but I think maybe if I start working from the middle. It's drier down here. I don't want to risk it. I'm still waiting for this to dry so that I can get a hard edge. A hard edge on the hawk. So let's see, what color am I gonna do? I think I'll put more yellow down first. Thinking about it. There's no way I'm gonna end up making this. But if I put the yellow down first, that'll take care of this beak area, which is very yellow. And then the purple, when mixed with yellow, makes this nice orangey, peachy color. I think that would be nice to be the feathers. And then this darker color that I got when I mixed all 3 would work well for the beak. So I think that's what I'll do. You love indigo? It is a beautiful color. Like, you know that I always complain about blue, but this is like, if it has to be blue, this is a gorgeous color. Like, when I was doing this test sheet, when I just put these down, I was like, man, I just want to fill up a page with these little blue marks because it just looks so lovely. It's so satisfying. Okay. I think it's dry enough. I don't want to take too long though, since I took too long to get started today. We had someone come for regular maintenance on the air conditioning system, so that's why I didn't get started until now. Well, also because I stayed up like all night playing Shiraishi's route in what am I saying? In Color Malice, which is the ultimate game that I'm playing right now. And it was so good. It was so good. But I stayed up way too late. I couldn't even finish the route because it was so long, and I was just literally falling asleep, even though I enjoyed it so much. So I was like, dang it, can't finish it. So stayed up way late, so got up late, then it was time for the air conditioning people to come, and then I finished his route because I didn't want to stop playing. And then I finished his route, so I was like, it's time to live stream while I still have a chance. My summer vacation is already half over. I'm doing these little kind of, not splotches, but I'm purposefully not doing even coverage because I want that texture for the feathers, to add some organic texture for the feathers. Okay, goes all the way until this line basically, and there's another line here I didn't draw, but that's okay. I wasn't sure if you would stream today, but I wasn't going to nag you. Yeah, I thought about just not doing it, but then I was like, based on the last 4, if I count both summers, the last 5 semesters, there's not that much chance that I'll be able to live stream during school. Because I always think I will. I'm like, I'll just do it, once a week or whatever, but school is so hard. It's that hard. Even though I think I'll be able to, but it's like as much as I can do. I mean, I guess I could just not try so hard, but I have a really good opportunity right now. This is the first time since junior high school that I didn't have to work while going to school, so I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste the opportunity. Oh, you know what? Since I was going to do a sort of grayish color anyway. Well, I'll wait. I'll wait and see. So there's that. And then, what do I want to put on it? Purple, right? Yes. Put on the purple. It's okay if it's still wet because I want it to mingle. In fact, I'll probably add water if it seems too dry. On top of landscapes, griffins are the mythological creature. Well, the version of it that lives in my head are a thing that I've been wanting to practice. Because that's what my novel is about, is this world of griffins that I've imagined. So I want to be able to draw them really well in lots of different positions. The only way to do that is to practice a lot. So whether I'm drawing a griffin or not, as long as I'm drawing a bird or drawing the animal that would be the bottom half, then that's good. It's like a Fiesta hawk or something. Okay, gotta be careful here. Gotta make sure not to get any on the beak. People, 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 people. Actually kind of looks like a pheasant or something. Okay. Yeah, I got that palette ready in case I needed it, but it seems like just mixing right on the page is working out. That's what I usually do. Let's just mix right on the page. I think I need to use a round brush for this. It's too small of an area. So I'm going to protect the parts that are supposed to be only yellow. This little cute hawk smile. Natural smile. Oh, dang it, I went a little too high up. There. And this, even his little eyebrow, or her, has some yellow. Got a little bit too much paint right here. So I'm trying to brush it away. Brush it away, suck it up with the brush, and then wipe the brush on the paper towel. There. Cleans it right up. Okay, now I gotta start being a little more selective. So I've been doing just a sort of overall kind of thing, but now I want to get shapes that make up the wings. Because what this bird is doing is looking behind it. I don't know what these three colors were going to inspire from you, but I honestly wasn't expecting a hawk. It's not a complaint, I'm just very surprised. I've thought about it for a long time. It's like, what do I want to do? What do I want to paint? At first I thought of just like, flowers or something. Like, I don't really feel like painting that. I just did a landscape yesterday. And it's been on my mind a lot recently that I need to practice the things that I want to draw for my main project. So I decided to make this a way to practice that. Even though it's kind of counterintuitive or something. Or unexpected, I guess. Maybe not counterintuitive, I don't know. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. Because now that I want to get a little bit more precise, it needs to dry first. I need to just keep a fan in here. Just use my swipey brush. Almost done. Almost dry. Hey, camera, why are you out of focus? Come on. There you go. Maybe I will mix some color, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It'd be a good idea to get the shading that I'm looking for. Get some yellow to start with. And then add purple. And both of these two colors are quite warm. So I'll cool it down a bit with the indigo. And that ought to give it some shadow too. Make it more of a... It'll make it darker as well as making it look like a shadow because it's a cooler color. That's what I'm trying to say. Need more pigment though. I don't know, that might be a little much, but put some blue in it first and see. Yeah, I think I need to add more yellow. It's almost totally lost. There we go. There we go. Now I just need some more blue. I wonder what kind of brush I should use. Use a round, but maybe I should keep using. I've been using this Filbert, right? I wonder if I should keep using it. One thing I don't send you is brushes because I know you have plenty of your own and they're probably better quality than anything I would pick out. Well, I don't know about the quality. I think I have good brushes, but they're all from Art Snacks, so like I have not bought a brush. I don't think I've bought a brush since I subscribed to Art Snacks, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago. They always send brushes. It seems like every other box. Like at least half the boxes have brushes in them, so it's like not a complaint, but now I have so many that it's actually getting hard to choose like which brush do I use today. I have like 10 of these same basic ones or something. So yeah, good thinking. I definitely have a ton. Let me get this eye. Get this eyeball. Dang it. It's too watery. I need more pigment. Pigment. That's a little better. good. That's good. Yeah, I think I'll use the Filbert again. Ugh. This is just not, this isn't enough color. Okay, I'm gonna really, really try to pick up a ton of pigment. Come on. It's too watery. That's so true. As long as you're using watercolors, not acrylics, you won't be gunking up your brushes. So you can keep using them. Yep. Yep. Watercolors are so much better. Oils, I guess you can. They're a little easier to clean, but even oils, if you leave it too long, your brush will be ruined still. It'll eventually dry so much that you can't get it off. Can't get the paint off anymore. Watercolors, if you leave, if you have like really light colored bristles, then they might get stained by the pigments, but the brush won't be ruined. It'll just be a different color. And it's not like that pigment will, it's not like the stained bristles will ruin your paint the next time you paint or anything. Okay, this is seeming better. I think I gotta make sure not to have too much water on the brush in the first place. Okay. Worried about getting too much blue. Okay, seems fine. Seems fine. Okay, here I go. So there's like a line here. And then there's a line here. And then I guess I'll just So feathers are totally different on the head. They're like teeny tiny. They almost look like scales, like on a lizard actually. These ones on the body are much bigger. Okay, and that's not all. Here, I'm already out of color. Well, I guess it'll probably be okay right here. A little bit of water. I'm not trying to be terribly precise because I'm going to get more precise when I put the ink on. Ink details at the end. So right now I just want to get sort of basic blobs of color. In my third week of trying to breed a shiny Dewpider in Pokemon Shield. Oh, I haven't even started playing my game of that. How do you like it? My idea was like, oh, I'll finish Fire Emblem 3 Houses, then I'll start Pokemon, and then I'll be done with Pokemon, and it'll be time for Animal Crossing. Nope, that's not how it worked at all. And so I have not played Pokemon at all. I had to skip over And I never finished Fire Emblem either. So it's just been sitting there. You love this version of Pokemon? Good, I'm glad. I've heard that they got rid of a lot of things and people were complaining, but actually I was feeling really overwhelmed by the previous games. Like, there was too much to do in it, and I haven't finished a main entry Pokemon game in ages. Like, I don't think I've finished the last 3. Maybe 3 or 4, because it was just too much. But if the rumor that I heard is true, I mean, it's just a rumor because I heard it from someone, I didn't look into it myself, then actually I am happy. I am happy to have less to do and just do the main thing that I've always liked, was just gotta catch them all. I just want to catch them all, that's all. Or maybe become the Pokemon League champ, and that's it. I want too much. I want too much stuff to do. The last Pokemon game I played before this was X or Y, and I didn't finish it. Yep. I think that I played, what was it, Black and White? It was Black and White, and then they made like a reversed version or something, but I didn't even finish that one. I can't even remember anymore. I played them, but it's like with each generation that came out, I finished less and less of the game, and it's been so long since I've actually finished a Pokemon game, which is sad because I remember when I was in 6th grade, I would get up early on purpose just to watch Pokemon on TV. Like, I was never late to school or whatever. It was like Pokemon was a really good influence on me. And it's like, I don't think the games are bad, but they're overwhelming. There's too much. Oh, earlier in my life I couldn't afford handheld systems, so I didn't really get to play the other Pokemon games. Is this... Oh wait, so was X and Y your first one then? Got all this wet spots. It's hard to add more stuff. It's hard to add more stuff to the hawk. Thanks to Tom I had 3DS. But I did totally watch the cartoon as well. I remember I was always proud of myself because of course I watched the, American version. So I'd always like, guess that Pokemon or whatever. Or the Poke Rap at the end. Long before I became a, purist or whatever. Anime purist, and that I only watched the original version of anything. Yeah, this little leftover combo right here is like perfect for the beak. It's on Netflix, but I can only handle so much nostalgia in one sitting. I haven't watched it in a long time. I was thinking, because I always play Pokemon Go on my walk every day. I was thinking about how the Slow King talked in the Lugia movie. So I was thinking about the movies, basically. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I brought that up. I guess I mostly The anime too is kind of overwhelming. There's so much. I'm like, I just like the original stuff. Like the first 2 movies. I guess the Entei movie was alright too. I remember going to the theater on release day so I could get the special Pokemon cards, and I still have them in my collection. Man, this is turning out pretty good. I'm honestly surprised because I was just doing this to experiment and have fun, so I think that it needs to dry. There's like wet patches here, under here. The eye is still wet, the top of the head where I did that stuff. I need this to dry so that I can start doing even more fine details. I'm glad the gradient in the background worked out. 20 years later and he's still 10 years old. Yep. Well, I've heard that the fan theory is that when he saw the Ho-Oh and got to make a wish or something, his wish, so that was in episode 1, and his wish was to always be able to be a Pokemon trainer or something. And so that's why he always is a little kid doing the same kind of stuff all the time. On the one hand, that kind of theory is kind of creepy, I think. Or it could be sad, because then, what if all his friends die and he's still Pokemon training and it turns into a curse or something? But if you just want to be positive about it, I think it's a nice way. It's a nice way to explain the anime. I'm the gradient queen. Thank you. Gradients are fun. It's fun to just do them just to do them. Not for any other reason than to mix paint. His friends are stuck in the time loop too. Well then, that's one less worry of a negative, not side effect. No, side effect. Negative aspect. If that were the case. I could still remember that episode so well. I can even remember how it looks old, how the animation looks old and stuff. But there's nothing bad about it in my memory. I really like, even if it looks old, that original stuff, the first few movies and the first few seasons of the show, it's all positive. Boop. Got my hawk a pupil. Literally. A literal pupil. Instead of a student. Otherwise, everyone else would be getting older while he stayed young. And I think they would notice that he wasn't getting older. Yes? Yes, that would be a problem. I think maybe at first they were just figuring, there's 365, the anime creators or something. There's 365 days in a year. So 365 episodes could technically pass and it would only be a year. But how long has this been going? It's way beyond that point now. I think maybe if the localization of the anime had been more consistent, then I wouldn't have completely lost interest in it. But, it changed hands so many times, and there's no easy way to get everything on, say, Blu-ray or something. So those are some reasons why I'm I'll just enjoy my memories. Enjoy my memories of the anime. Haha. In the 4th or 5th episode, he admitted to having Pikachu for 2 months. Well, there goes that theory. Okay, I need a little bit more dark on the tip of the beak. I think what it could have been better if they had just switched the main Pokemon trainer, like have Ash grow up and pass the torch or something, but once you decide not to do that, and then even if in hindsight you're like, oh man, we didn't think it would last this long or something, like it's too late. You've already dug that hole. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, my comments aren't always coming through from the app to the browser stream. Dang. Well, I'll just see what I can see. Hopefully I'll see most of them. Maybe it was like something before the 10th. I don't know. I watched a few in a row, but he totally admitted to having him for 2 months. Well before the 60 episode mark. Yeah. Yep. By this point, it's definitely... There's definitely something weird about it. But if he just lives like in a fantasy world, which he obviously does, because Pokemon aren't real, I guess the suspension of disbelief can go that far. This turned out pretty good. I think I might actually be ready to move on to the ink for the final steps, which is great because I've almost streamed for an hour and it's actually past dinner time. Still needs to dry though. What parts I did. Oh, but I'll do some stuff down here, and then hopefully by the time I get up there, at least with both open, I can see which comments go through. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yay. That's weird, though, that it's not working. It's not working right. Not working the way it should. Also, there are other animals, or do they eat Pokemon? I feel like they kind of skirt around the issue, because they definitely have descriptions that indicate that Pokemon eat other Pokemon. So I don't see why humans wouldn't eat them also. But since Pokemon are supposed to be your buddies and stuff, it seems kind of sick to talk about that. But that's kind of like the real world. We've got our animal buddies and then we eat other animals, so... Tasty Magikarp? That's funny because that's the first thing I thought. I was like, I wonder if they eat Magikarps. That was the first thing I thought. When I imagined a Pokemon being eaten, it was Magikarp. Oh, sad. I feel kind of bad for Magikarp. Well, it's a fish, though. That's why. So it'd be so easy to eat, too, because they just flop around, you know? love brush pens, brush ink pens. I'm not exactly sure how to make these feathers show up well, so I'm sort of experimenting as I go. Because just outlining them is a little too graphic, I think, for... Not graphic as in, like, do not show to minors, but graphic as in, you know, like graphic lines. Like with a comic or something. I think overall it's giving a nice impression of the texture of overlaying feathers. Here, I want to show where the feather texture totally changes. Taros burgers. Oh, it's sad. Don't they have two tails, and isn't oxtail an actual food that people eat? So then you get double the oxtail from a one Taros. Look at this cute little, look at this cute little smile. All birds have this little smile. Well, maybe not all birds. I've not looked at reference images of all birds, but in my experience, whenever I try to draw them, I'm like, oh, this one too has a little smile. I think they have 3 tails actually. Wow, triple the tail. Triple the ox tail. I am not a fan of birds, honestly, but this bird looks amazing. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I never thought I was particularly fond of birds, but I just sometimes find myself attracted to them. Like, recently on our walks, like within the last... I've been walking soon every day since spring break, and the last 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, somewhere around there, I've been hearing what I identified through YouTube videos as a western screech owl. And they're just like all in the neighborhood, and I hear them almost every time I go for a walk now, and it's like so exciting. Like, I wish I could see one, but I can only just hear them. I'm not afraid of them or anything, it's just they seem freaky to me. They are pretty different. They're not mammals. They're not mammals. They're not lizards. Not reptiles. They're their own thing. I think maybe I started liking them when I was trying to figure out how to draw their wings. I still have to look at reference images, and it's like when I tried to figure it out, and for the pictures that I was doing using that had bird wings in it. It's like the complexity of bird wings is just astounding. It's an amazing natural mechanism. I don't know, I guess studying them more closely like that just naturally makes me more interested in them in general. But I love dinosaurs, so I don't know. Yeah. I was talking about that on a walk recently, too. How there's some things that we call dinosaurs, but they're technically not dinosaurs because they actually were reptiles and all this stuff. I want to read a modern and well-researched book on all the newest dinosaur discoveries and stuff, and the newest ideas of theories about dinosaurs. Because I hear stuff, you know, here and there, but I've never actually gone and like tried to learn what people think now based on the most recent discoveries and stuff. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. I got dinosaur everything. So I like knew everything. I could name like any dinosaur if you showed me a picture of it, of a skeleton and stuff. Like I remember reading a book about the discovery of Iguanodon and how they thought that this thumb claw was actually on its nose, and that's why they called it Iguanodon or something. And then they figured out later, once they found a full skeleton, that it was like, oops, nope, doesn't go there at all, or whatever. And I thought that was fascinating, because when you only find a partial, you know, fossil, you can only guess. It's just fascinating. Okay, I think that's good for the black ink. Now, let's give this white brush ink, I'm going to shake it really good this time to make sure. Maybe that'll help. This is that same one that didn't work that well, and I got it out of the Art Snacks box. Okay, just shook the heck out of it. Okay, one more just in case. Okay. Now it did say to test it on a thing. Okay, it's coming out alright. Who knows, maybe it'll work better now that it's sat. After being primed and then it also sat. Yeah, it's working pretty good on the watercolor at least. Yay! That's the best part, is doing the eye. Yep. It does seem to be working better today, so that's a relief. Your bird is just glaring deep into my soul. It is glaring in that picture, so in the picture I'm using. It actually looks like, I'm shocked actually how close it looks to the reference image I'm looking at. Even though I was intending for it to just be, you know, like wild and crazy colors or whatever, it just I am very surprised. It was probably because of the other watercolors being the Asian version. Yeah. I had to get used to not using those. I was still so used to using them today. I got used to them in the couple hours that I painted yesterday, so that these ones don't behave exactly the same. Make the cute little smile. Cute little bird smile. What I'll do right there. And there's like these really thin feathers growing out of here. So I'll use white to indicate that texture. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Yay, it's turning out pretty good. It's turning better than I thought. I thought it would just be a totally weird experiment thing. But without going out of my way or anything, it's turning out pretty good. How far down does this go? This far? Yeah. Yep. And then maybe a little bit over here. It's like not everything that I'm putting white on is actually white, but since I'm limiting my ink to black and white, I'm using it in areas where I need to lighten it back up. Really does give it a excellent 3D, even though I painted it without, just made it totally flat with the paint. I'm really pleased that this white ink pen is working better today than it did for the Art Snacks challenge. Maybe it's just what I'm using is different. I don't even remember what the other stuff I used it on was for the challenge. And a little shiny over here. A little highlight over on this side too. No shit. Something like that. There's like this obvious line right here. Yeah, what the heck? I think that's good enough. And I've gone over, I think I've done an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm ready for dinner. Let me sign it. Let me sign my painting. Alright. Yay! Well, there we go. Another live stream done for today. Tomorrow I think I'll do another Art Snacks unboxing, try to get caught up. So tomorrow is my last weekday before fall semester starts. Looks great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for this fun challenge too. I'm really surprised how, like, I thought it would be really hard, but then when I decided to do the swatches and I could start thinking about what colors could these lend themselves to and stuff, and it ended up working out better than I thought. So if I can see you tomorrow, then that would be great. But if not, that's okay. But that's all for now. So thank you for watching.